What's going on? I came across the video from Jason Whitlock clips and the infamous Jason Whitlock. The title reads, Nikola Jokic is dominating the NBA. And I'm so sick of this fucking narrative that Nikola Jokic is dominating the NBA. Nikola Jokic is playing good basketball, man. Not even great basketball, good basketball. His team right now is fourth in the West. No, I'm sorry. They're third in the West, behind the Rockets, who I've been telling people are the scariest team in the Western Conference, especially come playoff time. They're number two. And Oklahoma City, who actually has the real MVP and who should have won MVP last year, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Oklahoma City Thunder, have the number one spot in the West and number two in the NBA, and it's by a long shot. It's by a long shot in the West. And there's nobody that's going to catch up with them, number two in the NBA. And I want to say that the Cavaliers have maybe dropped, and now Oklahoma City has the best record in the league. But I'll look that up as the video plays. Nikola Jokic has 3 MVPs and came in second in 2022-23. Nikola Jokic has never led the league in any statistical category. And he doesn't even average a block a game for his career. He averages 21 points a game, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists for his career. He's never led the league in scoring, never led the league in rebounding, and doesn't block shots at all, doesn't play defense. This year he's averaging a triple-double at 29 points a game, which is his highest points average so far, 10 assists and 12 rebounds. This is his first time averaging a triple-double in a season. And that could change depending on his production if it declines moving forward. But I say we pick and choose who we want to make, or we pick and choose when we want to make triple-doubles important. Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double, I want to say 3 or 4 times. Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double. Let's see here. Russell Westbrook has led the league in scoring twice and the league in assists 3 times. He led the league in scoring 2014-15, 2016-17, and he led the league in assists 2017-18, 2018-19, and 2020-2021. Russell Westbrook has averaged a triple-double 4 times in his career and averaged a triple-double 3 straight seasons and only has 1 MVP. And not only does he have 1 MVP, he's never finished second or third in voting. After that, the closest he's come to number 1 in MVP voting is number 4. And like I said, Russell Westbrook has averaged a triple-double 4 times in his career, has led the league in scoring twice, and has led the league in assists 3 times. That's dominating. And no one ever talked about Russell Westbrook being the MVP or really fighting for him to be the MVP or anything. And he's actually leading teams without any other all-star or any other all-NBA caliber player when he was averaging those triple-doubles. Especially in Oklahoma City. He averaged a triple-double in Washington, and he's playing with Bradley Beal. But still, no one was fighting for him or making a big deal out of him averaging. They were making it a big deal and recognizing it, shedding light on it. But they weren't overhyping it like they're overhyping Nikola Jokic's triple-double average this year. And on top of that, they make a big deal out of every time Nikola Jokic gets a triple-double. But you got someone like Josh Giddey, who has 5 triple-doubles on the season with the Chicago Bulls, who has actually brought himself to number 2 in triple-doubles behind Michael Jordan for the Bulls. Now, granted, there's a 10-point difference. Michael Jordan had 15 triple doubles. Josh Giddey has 5. But he's still second behind Michael Jordan for the Chicago Bulls all-time triple doubles. They don't talk about it or highlight it, and it's not a big deal. And the NBA needs to do a better job of highlighting stuff like that and promoting the other players in the league, the other good and great players in the league, like a Josh Giddey, who is averaged 5 triple doubles this season and is number 2 Chicago Bull all time in triple doubles. That's what will make, the NBA better. And that's what will bring fans to want to come see the games, not just Laker games or Golden State Warrior games or Celtic games, but the other good and great players in the league. They'll want to come see if they know that Josh Giddey is number 2 behind Michael Jordan for the most triple doubles in Chicago Bull history. Yeah, the Bulls are a play-in team, but that's something to be recognized. Shit, hey, they recognize Bronny James, sorry-ass Bronny James's career-high 17 points in a blowout loss to the, who was that? To the Milwaukee Bucks when the Lakers starters weren't even playing. But they don't make a big deal out of Josh Giddey getting 2 triple-doubles on the Lakers in 1 week and going 2-0. But let's bring it back to Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic is a good player in this era. I guess you could say he's dominating. But since LeBron James wanted to bring up the 70s and Giannis Antetokounmpo, and if you've been following my channel, you know how I feel about that. Nikola Jokic, if he played in the 70s, 80s, 90s, even the 2000s, he wouldn't be shit. He would be a good player, but he wouldn't be someone that people or you people consider dominating. And he definitely wouldn't have 3 fucking MVPs, finished second 1 year, and now everybody's fighting for him to get the MVP this year. His team is subpar, average. The Western Conference is subpar and average. The only great team in the Western Conference is the Oklahoma City Thunder. Everybody else is mediocre and average. And so is Nikola Jokic. I'm so sick of this Nikola Jokic shit, man. He doesn't play against any other centers that really can compete, or not even that can compete, that do compete. None of these motherfuckers play defense. So he doesn't really have to worry about resistance on offense. And he doesn't play defense. He's never forced to play defense. Anytime I watch Nikola Jokic play, he's fucking out there cruising. Like, somebody make it hard on this motherfucker, or make it at least tougher on him to do the shit that he's doing. And somebody, for the love of God, attack him on offense and put some pressure on this motherfucker to play defense, and we'll see how good he really is. Because when people talk about how good Nikola Jokic is, they're only talking about offensively. And they're only talking about offensively in today's game. This is not real basketball they're playing in today's game. The floor is spread and all they're trying to do is shoot threes. I'm sitting here watching the Lakers and Grizzlies right now. And the Grizzlies could easily beat the Lakers if they just give Zach Edey the ball. There's nobody on the team that's his size or that can guard him on the block. And even if you don't give it to him on the block, run a play where you get a penetrating pass to him under the basket where he can just catch it and score, or make a move and score. Nikola Jokic does not have to play against a great center every night like they did in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. And not only that, he's not challenged. Like I said, when he plays, he doesn't even play defense, and he doesn't even have to. Because it's a fucking jump shooting league. He doesn't even average, he does average 10 rebounds. He's never led the league in rebounding, scoring, block shots, or assists. So what the fuck is so dominant about Nikola Jokic? And I can go on for this shit all day, man, because it pisses me off. But let's get into this video and see what these lame ass motherfuckers are talking about. You got fat smug face Uncle Tom, Jason Whitlock, and you got this corny ass white boy uh, what's his name? Scap Attack. This cornball. Let's see what they talking about.
Scap, a lot of people are going to listen to us. I've already seen it on Twitter. Hey, you're making excuses. You're saying Nikola Jokic was gas. LeBron is 39 in year 21. You don't make those excuses for him. I don't see the comparison. It doesn't make sense. It's just more, what about this? What about that? But I'm not sitting here making a bunch of excuses for Nikola Jokic. I'm just sitting here like telling the truth. The guy was exhausted and ran out of gas, and it speaks to like he needs a slightly improved supporting cast.
Man, get the fuck out of here, fat boy. Jason Whitlock is just making excuses for Nikola Jokic to support his argument and whoever else's lame ass argument for Nikola Jokic to get the MVP. There's nothing wrong with Nikola Jokic's team. They just won the NBA championship 2 years ago. He has actually a great supporting cast. What the fuck are you talking about, fat boy? This is the same lame that was blaming Skip Bayless for the decisions of LeBron James. Blaming Skip Bayless for the decisions that a grown man makes. And being a LeBron apologist. Now it sounds like he's doing that for Nikola Jokic. There's nothing wrong with Nikola Jokic's team or supporting cast. Just earlier this season, people were excited about the Nuggets because what Russell Westbrook has been added to their team, and he gave them a boost of energy and offense. And they were talking, because I did a video on it, they were talking about or debating, should Russell Westbrook start instead of Jamal Murray because he gives them more energy. So there's nothing wrong with the supporting cast. They had a great supporting cast before Russell Westbrook got there. And now they have Russell Westbrook, someone who has an MVP as well, someone who's been to the NBA Finals as well, someone who, again, led the league in scoring twice and the league in assists 3 times and has averaged a triple-double 4 times at one stint 3 years in a row. Get the fuck out of here, fat boy. There's nothing wrong with Nikola Jokic's supporting cast. And I just looked up Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's numbers. His career numbers, as far as points, are better than Nikola Jokic. He averages 24. Nikola Jokic only averages 21. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is leading the league in scoring field goal percentage. He's leading the league in scoring at 32.9 points a game. 6 assists, 5 rebounds at the point guard position. And his team is by far the best team in the West. So how the fuck is Nikola Jokic the MVP? And why are you making excuses for him, saying that his supporting cast isn't shit, basically? That's the same shit they're saying for LeBron James and the Lakers. Now that they've lost to the Magic and the Bulls twice. They just beat the Grizzlies when they get rid of their coach right before the game, which was weird. But, man, get the fuck out of here with these excuses for Nikola Jokic.
And it's the same argument people make about LeBron when he was in Cleveland. And when the first go-around in Cleveland. Like, hey, LeBron needs a better supporting cast. You know, he can't carry the whole thing by himself. That's basically the same argument. And I was good. I was someone that was making that argument the first 7 years of LeBron's career.
So now what he's doing is basically trying to compare him to LeBron and compare this Nuggets team that has already won a championship. There's really nobody new on this team or that they subtracted except for Russell Westbrook. So what the fuck is Jason Whitlock talking about? He needs a better supporting cast. These motherfuckers just won the NBA championship 2 years ago. And I thought they were going to win it last year. I actually was pulling for them to win it last year because I thought they were the best team in the NBA, and they blew it. But this is the same team. There has been really no change outside of Russell Westbrook. So please give me a fucking break, Jason Whitlock. And I can't wait to hear what this lame-ass motherfucker's about to say.
Jokic, I'm just telling the truth about what happened, but what do you think about the people that say, oh, you're making excuses for Jokic. You're just a fan.
Well, Jason,
Because you are a fat boy. And Jason Whitlock, you don't know shit about basketball, man. Honestly. Anytime Jason Whitlock talks about he really doesn't talk about basketball. He really doesn't talk about sports, period. He just talks about the athletes personally. And it's rooted in personal issues. So Jason Whitlock doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. That's why he has this cornball on the show. And that's why he always has guests on the show when he's talking about sports or talking about a specific athlete, because he really can't go in depth or give you any information in regards to the game or break shit down. All he does is just take personal shots at people, and especially black athletes and especially the black women. But let's move on, man.
I typically never promote myself, but I'm working on a piece right now. It's going to be a little bit different from what I typically do, and it's not quite ready yet, but I have pretty much conducted all the research I need to on it. What I've done is I've gone back and I've looked at every MVP winner since the 1983-84 season. So roughly 40 years worth of data. And there's 23 guys that have won an MVP over those 40 years. So I looked at all of the guys in their first 9 seasons that they played of their career, because we just saw the end of Nikola Jokic's 9th NBA season. I then looked at every teammate that those 23 league MVPs from 83-84 to this year played with in their first 9 years. I wanted to see how many All-Stars, how many All-NBA team selected players, and how many All-NBA defensive team selected players each of these MVPs played with during their.
Oh, yeah. And now that he brought that defensive shit up, Nikola Jokic has never been a defensive player of the year, never been voted for defensive player of the year, and never been on an all-defensive team. He plays no defense. How the fuck can you be a dominant player if it's not on both ends of the floor? That was my whole argument with Shaquille O'Neal. I think Shaquille O'Neal is overrated and the biggest underachiever in sports history. Shaquille O'Neal was not a presence. He was a presence because he was so big, but he wasn't a great shot blocker or really a great rebounder. Shaquille O'Neal should have averaged 14 to 15 rebounds a game for his fucking career. So give me a break with this Nikola Jokic shit. He's never been anything close to a defensive player, and it shows in his accolades in regards to the lack of accolades in regards to defense. And like I said, man, he's never led the league in anything, but he keeps winning MVPs and shit and coming in second place if he doesn't. I don't understand it. He only has one NBA championship. And they won the championship, yes, a couple years ago. But the Nuggets since then are really subpar. And if the Nuggets didn't have Jamal Murray, the Nuggets would have never won an NBA championship, and they wouldn't even be considered as good as they are. They would just have, I guess, Nikola Jokic playing well, and they would have like a decent supporting cast. But without Jamal Murray, the Nuggets aren't shit. Even with Nikola Jokic on the floor, they're not going to get over the hump unless they have Jamal Murray.
First 9 seasons. There is only one guy, Jason, that has never played with a single one of any of those 3 players. That never played with an All-Star, an All-NBA.
And you want to know something? I'm starting to think there's a conspiracy as to why Jamal Murray hasn't been an All-Star, because they want to hold up this narrative like Nikola Jokic is just carrying motherfuckers, and he hasn't. Because that's the point this cornball's about to make, that he hasn't played with another All-Star. Well, Russell Westbrook was an All-Star, and Jamal Murray should have been an All-Star. Jamal Murray is definitely an All-Star caliber player, and for some reason he hasn't made the All-Star team. But I know why. In my opinion, it's because they're trying to hold up this narrative that Nikola Jokic is just so great and dominant, and he doesn't play with any other great. That's why Jason Whitlock is saying this dumb shit about his supporting cast. What the fuck are you talking about? Man, these niggas had Michael Porter Jr., Jamal Murray, Christian Braun, goddamn, they got DeAndre Jordan, they got Aaron Gordon. Get the fuck out of here. Nothing wrong with his supporting cast. You just trying to make that narrative or push that narrative to make Nikola Jokic seem like he's carrying a bunch of motherfuckers and he's dominating and he doesn't have another all-star on his team. Stop that bullshit. And I think that's why Jamal Murray hasn't been an all-star. It's a conspiracy against him. I guarantee you if he doesn't play for the Nuggets, he'd have been an all-star. Especially his game and the way he plays. Stop.
Selected player or an all-NBA defensive selected player. That's Nikola Jokic. He's the only guy that has played with 0 such players in his first 9 years. The only guy really that's close, and this is probably a good comp because Kevin Garnett is generally regarded, he's like a fringe top 20 player. I'd say he's somewhere 18 to 22 all time. He played with 4 of those players. And
if Kevin Garnett played in today's NBA, he would be dominating. And if Nikola Jokic were to play in Kevin Garnett's era, Kevin Garnett will give this motherfucker the business. And I doubt Nikola Jokic would be any good in the 70s, 80s, 90s, or 2000s. Because he doesn't and can't play defense. And he's slow and lethargic, it looks like, on offense. Or his game, period. Motherfuckers like Kevin Garnett, Hakeem Olajuwon, David Robinson, even Charles Barkley, undersized. Larry Johnson. Goddamn Tim Duncan, Alonzo Mourning, Patrick Ewing. They will give this motherfucker the business. Stop, man. He plays against nobody in this era. It's not real basketball. And he definitely doesn't play any fucking defense. And he does play with all-star caliber players. They just haven't been voted to the all-star game because they want to keep this narrative up that Nikola Jokic is a dominant player carrying a bunch of motherfuckers. I swear I think that's why Jamal Murray hasn't been an all-star. Shut the fuck up, Scap Attack.
His first 9 seasons, he missed the playoffs in his first year. He then went out in the first round 7 straight years, Jason. He was eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. His first 7 full years in the playoffs. He then made 1 conference finals, lost there, and then basically he was out of Minnesota. He went and joined a Boston super team to get his one and only ring. Nikola
Jokic has one and only ring. And by the time Kevin Garnett went to play with the Boston Celtics, and I guess you can call it, they wasn't a super team. It was some niggas at the end of their rope, or at the end of the line, or at the end of their careers, basically, the twilight of their career. And they came together to maximize their powers, basically, or their game. Because Kevin Garnett, at that point in his career, wasn't going to get it done leading the team. Neither was Ray Allen. So you had Paul Pierce, who was at the end of his prime. You had Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett, who were past their prime, but they were still great players in their own right. And then you had a player emerging like Rajon Rondo. And then LeBron James tried to say the Celtics had a super team because that was Rajon Rondo's like 3rd year in the league, nigga. He hadn't even really made a name for himself yet. And he really didn't make a name for himself until he played on that Celtics team. So LeBron, you need to shut the fuck up too. Because LeBron is an idiot, man. I'm sorry, bro. Fuck out of here. Not only does he have a horrible basketball IQ, his just IQ period is horrible. Just like Gilbert Arenas. Some fucking idiots, man. But yeah, bro. Shut the fuck up, Scap Attack. And on top of that, Kevin Garnett, it don't matter if Kevin Garnett missed the playoffs or didn't get out the first round 7 straight years. That nigga was drafted out of high school. He was a teenager when he got into the league, bro. Shut your bitch ass up.
Jokic, basically the only comp to Kevin Garnett with a similar, just pathetic and
And I hope you ain't trying to point all this shit out, Scap Attack. because you're trying to make an argument, or you're saying that Nikola Jokic is better than Kevin Garnett. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. This is a totally different league and a totally different style of basketball. It's not real basketball. So, nigga, if Nikola Jokic played in Kevin Garnett's time, I doubt Nikola Jokic could even do half of what Kevin Garnett did. And if Kevin Garnett played in these times, Kevin Garnett would be the one dominating in actuality and for real. Not this bullshit dominating that y'all think Nikola Jokic is doing because he's playing against nobody at his position. And he's playing a soft, non-physical, jump shooting style of basketball. Stop.
Supporting team to get his one and only. Eliminated in the first round of the playoffs, his first 7 full years in the playoffs. He then made one conference finals, lost there, and then basically he was out of Minnesota. He went and joined a Boston super team to get his one and only ring. Nikola Jokic, basically the only comp to Kevin Garnett with a similar, just pathetic and lacking supporting cast, has played in 2 conference finals and won a championship. Like, it's just unbelievable. Like, of course, we're not.
These niggas talking about Nikola Jokic's supporting cast, but they've gone to 2 conference finals and won a championship. He's never led the league in any statistical category. So, nigga, he needs his teammates just as much as they need him. He's trying to make it sound like Nikola Jokic carried a bunch of scrubs to the conference finals and a championship. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Look, you can't lose a 20-point lead at home in a game 7. Like, I'm not trying to diminish the fact that happened. But looking at the supporting cast that he has had to work with over his first 9 seasons, it's the worst of any all-time great player in 40 years. Basically,
man, if them niggas went to 2 conference finals and won an NBA championship, that means he has a great supporting cast. So you trying to make this narrative like he's just carrying motherfuckers and everybody else just sucks on his team and he's the only good player on his team, bro. It just shows you that this cornball doesn't know shit about basketball. He probably loves basketball, is a fan of basketball. But this is a motherfucker who's more concerned with statistics and doesn't add any context to what he's saying. He just pushes out a bunch of statistics and I guess facts. I'm not even want to say facts, but he just points out a bunch of statistics to make his argument. And he really doesn't have or add any context behind it. Kevin Garnett led the league in rebounding 4 years in a row. With double-double, with 20-plus points a game. Nikola Jokic has never led the league in rebounding. And has just as many NBA championships as Nikola Jokic. And Kevin Garnett has 1 MVP. And a gold medal. And a perennial all-star. And played in an era where he had to bring his A game damn near every night. And he was drafted out of high school. Please get off Kevin Garnett's dick. Lame ass white boy.
Since the ABA-NBA merger, he has less help than any player that has ever existed that are in these top 10 to 20 to 30 conversations. And none of those guys could win anything. He's got a title already. So, I don't want a super team. I don't want the competitive balance of the NBA to be destroyed. I just want him to get a viable guy that he can count on. I don't want to see another Hakeem Olajuwon or Dirk Nowitzki where these guys just don't have enough help and they just only get that one fringe MVP.
Boy, I thought he was about to say some stupid shit about Hakeem Olajuwon. I think Hakeem Olajuwon is a 2-time champion, 2-time Finals MVP. And in my opinion,
one fringe MVP.
In my opinion, Hakeem Olajuwon is the best center ever, offensively and defensively. In any era, Hakeem Olajuwon would be Hakeem Olajuwon. In the past eras, in his era, and after. In his prime, Hakeem Olajuwon, best center ever. And that's my opinion. So watch your mouth, boy.
Just compared him to Dirk and Hakeem. And Dirk was the person I was thinking you may. But Dirk got to play with Steve Nash, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Did he get to? Who else did? Who all did? Maybe.
Now, if we talking about somebody who led a team to a championship and didn't have much and didn't have a great supporting cast, Dirk Nowitzki's the one, not Nikola Jokic. Dirk Nowitzki's the one. He played with no other All-Stars. Jason Kidd was an All-Star at one point. Sean Marion was an All-Star at one point, but they were seasoned vets by the time. Even Dirk Nowitzki was by the time they won their championship in 2011 and beat a young Miami Heat team with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh in their prime. And Dirk Nowitzki was sick one of those games. That's just shameful for LeBron James and the Miami Heat. And Dwayne Wade, sorry ass. But that's the real motherfucker who carried a subpar supporting cast, Dirk Nowitzki. And Allen Iverson, he didn't win a championship, but that's a real motherfucker who carried a subpar supporting cast to the NBA Finals. And LeBron James didn't do that in 2007. He had Zydrunas Ilgauskas, who was an all-star, Larry Hughes, who had a career year before coming to play with him, Eric Snow, who was a seasoned veteran and has finals experience, Damon Jones, Drew Gooden, Carlos Boozer. Like, come on, bro. Stop. LeBron James had a great supporting cast. Daniel Gibson, a young hooper at the time. LeBron James had a great supporting cast when he went to the finals in 2007. Dirk Nowitzki and Allen Iverson, they didn't have a great supporting cast. And they carried their team to the finals. Dirk won one. Allen Iverson did it. He had to go up against the 2001 Lakers, who were a great team. But those are players who really carry teams, not Nikola Jokic. Please cut the shit. Whenever the Nuggets need a big play or a big bucket, they give the ball to Jamal Murray. Fuck out of here.
Jason Kidd, refresh my.
Correct. Even that 2011 ring, everyone will point to that 2011 team where they slayed the Miami Heat super team in their first year together in Miami. Like, yes, that was probably one of the lighter supporting casts we've seen in at least the last 25 years. But he still had Sean Marion, who had been like a perennial all-star throughout his career. He had Jason Kidd on that team. I mean, there were some pretty high-level. Tyson Chandler, who had some All-NBA defensive selections throughout his career, that was on that team. Jason Terry.
You look like you done caught yourself up in some shit, white boy. Now you bringing up motherfuckers and like, oh, he was an all-star. Oh, he was a... Yeah, man. Dirk Nowitzki. All those players were all-stars and shit at one point, but they were old. Over the hill. I don't want to say over the hill, but they were old. Just seasoned veterans at the time they won that championship with Dirk Nowitzki. So it wasn't like he was playing with a bunch of players that were in their prime. And then Jason Whitlock brings up when Dirk played with Steve Nash. Man, that was so long ago. Shut your dumb ass up. That's all he tell you. He don't know shit about basketball.
He was a sixth man of the year, I believe, in the NBA 1 year. So, I mean, there's no doubt Dirk had a better roster surrounding him than Nikola Jokic has had for the 9 years.
No, he doesn't. Nikola Jokic's roster or supporting cast is way better than Dirk Nowitzki's because they're still young and in their primes. The oldest player I think on their team is probably DeAndre Jordan, and he's not even that old. And Russell Westbrook. He's older, but he still has go and has a motor. I don't think his motor will ever run out until he's just done playing. So please cut the shit, man. Then you got Michael Porter Jr., again, Jamal Murray, Christian Braun, who just got to the league in 2022. Shut the fuck up, bro. The motherfucking Mavericks, when they beat the Heat in 2011, their youngest player was probably J.J. Barea. Stop, man. Or Deshaun Stevenson. And by that time, Deshaun Stevenson was even old. And I take that back. Because Deshaun Stevenson was drafted in like 01, 02. Man, stop. Out of high school. Stop.
He's been in the NBA. And of course, as you point out, yes, Dirk had Steve Nash for the beginning portion of his career. So, I mean, maybe you can look at Hakeem Olajuwon's the first championship, the 94 run, because Otis Thorpe was pretty much his second best player on that team. Otis Thorpe, who made one All-Star his entire NBA career.
Hakeem Olajuwon, when he won the championship, they had Robert Horry, Mario Elie. They had a great supporting cast. And then I want to say they played with, I don't know if Clyde Drexler was there just 1 year or two, but he played with Clyde Drexler too. Shut the fuck up, man. But still, all in all, nigga, Hakeem Olajuwon was dominant against players like Shaq, Alonzo Mourning, and David Robinson. And David Robinson is an underrated great center. Patrick Ewing. There's no fucking comparison, nigga. And I understand what they're saying about teams with no supporting cast that led their team to a championship. But Hakeem Olajuwon was dominating as well. He had a good supporting cast. You're just trying to come up with this narrative and make this argument and bring up these examples to justify you saying that Nikola Jokic is carrying his team with no supporting cast. It's a lie and it's bullshit. Stop.
But then the second season, remember, Clyde Drexler was acquired in advance of the trade deadline. Clyde Drexler was still a perennial all-star at that point, and he's a top 50 all-time player. So, I mean, Jason, I've seen two guys, if you want to throw Hakeem in as the third, because we'll just kind of pretend like Clyde Drexler wasn't on that second team, but primarily I've seen two guys.
No, we can't fucking pretend. What kind of shit is that? We can't pretend Clyde Drexler wasn't on the team. He was on the team. Stop. Now, you may be trying to give kudos or praise to Hakeem Olajuwon, but what you're saying is false. That's what I'm getting on. Like, you don't even know what you're talking about. The Rockets team, both of those years, had a great team, a great supporting cast, and a great coach in Rudy Tomjanovich. So stop, nigga. And Nikola Jokic, the same thing. He has a good coach. I ain't gonna say a great coach, but he has a good coach and a great supporting cast. Your argument is stupid and not making any sense.
That have been able to win more than one championship since 1990. With really just an all-star caliber guy, not like a maybe not like a superstar caliber guy. That's Kobe Bryant with Pau Gasol in 08 and 09, and then Michael Jordan with Scottie Pippen. Which, look, Scottie Pippen probably is a superstar. He's a top 50 all-time player. Like, Nikola Jokic needs one guy he can bank on. Who's it gonna be?
Jamal Murray. Stop acting stupid. The fuck out of here, bro. Like I just said, man. Whenever the Nuggets need a bucket, a big bucket, a for sure bucket, they give the ball to Jamal Murray. Whenever they need a clutch bucket, a game-winning bucket, or a game-time bucket, they give the ball to Jamal Murray. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Or they can give it to Kevin Porter Jr. Now they can give it to Russell Westbrook. Or you can give it to Christian Braun, honestly. Stop.
Hasn't been Jamal Murray. It's obviously not Michael Porter Jr. And like you said, there's not much flexibility with the cap right now. I don't know how they can improve this roster in the offseason. KCP is on a player option next year. They owe him $15 million.
I forgot they got Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Man, you bringing up all these players, and then you say Jamal Murray. They can't do it with Jamal Murray or Michael. Yes, they can. And they have. Shut your dumb ass up. And yeah, I forgot about Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Like, come on, bro. He has 2 championships. A great role player for the Lakers as well in 2020. Stop.
believe that. Contavious Caldwell-Pope is making $15 million next year on a player option. And I believe Reggie Jackson is probably going to activate a player option for $5 million next year as well. Those would be the two names maybe that you try to move on expiring deals to try to upgrade the roster to some degree. But their top four guys are pretty much, Jason, they're locked in for at least next year and in many cases beyond until like 27 or 2028.
Gaff, the only thing I'm going to disagree with that you've said is I do think Scottie Pippen has a case as top 30, top 35 NBA player. The guy was so incredible defensively. I think he has an argument. When I sit around and think, there's Rodman on defense, there's Dennis Johnson on defense, who I think about. Obviously, there's some centers, but Scottie Pippen's right there with Dennis Rodman as a defensive player, and
Scottie Pippen's better than LeBron James. Better shooter, better free throw shooter, better defender, better decision maker on the floor. Scottie Pippen's better than LeBron James.
Anyway, Scap, great job, great information. I want you to circle when you finish that.
All right, man. So that's the end of that, man. And I went on kind of long, man, but I get passionate about this Nikola Jokic shit. And just so you guys know, Jamal Murray has been averaging 20 plus since 2020, 2021. And he averaged 18 twice, 2018, 19, 2019, 20. And before that, he averaged 16. He's averaging 21 points, 21 points this season. Nikola Jokic has all the fucking help he needs, man. And y'all got Jamal Murray fucked up. And now I see why he's not an all-star. And it's starting to make sense because they want to keep up this narrative like Nikola Jokic is just this great dominant player carrying teams to championships and shit. No, this year, nigga, the Nuggets are just struggling. And a lot of it has to do with probably the coaching. And Nikola Jokic having the ball in his hands like he's the fucking point guard and shit all the goddamn time. That's why they struggling. But yeah, man. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for MVP. And please get the fuck out of here with this Nikola Jokic shit. And you two motherfuckers, get out. I'm gone.